Yeah. So which date would you like to choose? 7? Okay, 7.
Yeah, 7 is good.
May 7?
Yes.
Yeah, May 7. Okay. Okay, so let's go with May 7, all right? So May 7, 2025, May, and then this one is 5. Okay, okay, let's start
Yeah,
from the
go with 5. Yeah, go with 5.
yeah, go. Let's go with 5. I'm going to fix it, and the initial history I'm going to put to 50, all right, to 50 days. Chart setting, obviously standard chart period, I'm going to put M15. So let's do something very unique, all right? So we are planning to do the simulations on funded accounts. Let's say let's take the fear amount like 50,000 USD, 50K account, all right? So let's see whether we can able to pass this simulation or not, or this funded account or not, all right? Okay, let's do it. Now 10,000, yeah, 10,000 or
Yeah,
50,000.
10,000 is good because 50,000 is too big,
Yeah, 10,000.
Can
Let's
make
let's
some
do 10,000.
confusion, that's
If we
why.
got like if we got like 10%, then definitely we'll obviously passing the first step. All right. Okay. So
Yes,
let's
of
do.
course.
Yeah, let's do. Start simulation. This is the clean chart. All right. So let me fix it little bit. Okay. Templates, simulations are all right. Okay. So. mm, Where is my date? I should have to put my dates into here. All right. Okay. So let's do. Mm, I think we should do the simulations London because we specialize in London. All right. So in New York, there is a lot of news, so it's difficult to do trade on New York. It's better to trade on a London close, or it's better to trade on a pre-London and London. So let's do that. Okay. Mm, Sessions, all right? We are going to focus on London sessions. So let me forward this to the pre-London at first. Here we go. So let's do the top-down analysis at first. For that, we need to move towards the daily time frame. So looking at on a daily time frame, okay, looking at on a daily time frame, it's just respect the low of the previous candle, pushes up, and now it is retracing back to the downside. And from the 4-hour perspective, what you can see is 4-hour is something looking like this. So we got a support at this point. Likewise, there is enough range to the up, but it has already moved. So in order to get certain market structures, let's move towards the 1-hour time frame. Looking at on a 1-hour time frame, the most recent support is at 32.46, all right? And we have got a decent resistance at this point. So looking
Just
at,
one thing.
yeah,
Can you move this the things at the corner, please? The
this
time
this one,
session. Yeah, at the corner so we can see clearly.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So now I think it looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So let's move towards the 30-minute time frame. Yeah, looking at on a 30-minute time frame, we got a support at this point, and there is a resistance at this point. And from the overall trend, it was up. But looking at on a session trend, yeah, it is creating the support at this point. Yeah, definitely. So looking at a session trend, it is pushing down, and the way this candle close, this candle does not give us the enough informations and enough confidence to execute the trade. So it's better to wait, all right? It's better to wait to close another candle, or probably planning to enter into the positions after breaking these high of the previous candle, but the way this candle closed, it seems like the not enough volume. So here we go. Let's see what will happen at this point. Looking at a 15-minute, it just seems like a garbage from the 15-minute, 30-minute. It's good. Okay.
Uh, can you stop here, please?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you go to 15 minutes,
Yeah. Okay. Definitely. 15-minute.
okay. So can I draw line here? Something?
Sorry.
Okay. I'm gonna draw a this one. 1 minute. Okay. If you see here is a resistance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if any candle close above here, yeah, then
Yeah.
we can move very up because it's a clear range at the left side, and
Definitely.
it's also a volume time.
Yeah.
So this
It's
this could be a range, you know. And
yeah.
if we see at the support here, there's also clean range after the support. So
Yeah.
both sides we have
Definitely.
clear range.
Definitely.
So
Definitely. Agree.
yes,
Agree with that. So in
Brother,
order to
there is
go
there is
why, yeah,
there is one question. In this scenario, we are following trend session or time session.
yeah, actually, we should follow the session trend, obviously. We need to follow the session trend. So in order to go for a sell, we should have to see some sorts of a candle to break and close below the support so that we can get a clean range, which is almost like 107 pips. And in order to go for a buy, we need to have a candle to break and close above this resistance so that we can get a clean range to the upper side, which is more than 100 pips. So in this scenario, we need to wait for a 15-minute candle to close at first. Then
Okay,
only we can take a decisions, all right?
okay.
Yeah, let's see. 15-minute candle is moving, no problem. Yeah, 30-minute looks like this. 15-minute obviously moving. And it's the first 6 minutes. We need to wait for a 15-minute candle to close at first to our directions.
can you stop?
Yeah, looking from the
Ah,
30-minute. I
yeah.
think it's not
Okay.
a good
So if you
idea to go for an impulse entry at this point. All right, if we measure this range, 37 pips, it's a good idea, valid idea to go for an impulse entry at this point.
yeah, I think go with half risk, you know, in
Yeah,
15
so
minutes.
let me wait for 15 minutes. So what's the probability that this 15-minute candle rejecting like this, like this? I think it's better
It's a good
idea to go
question.
for the confirmations, like wait for candle to close in our direction.
Yeah, of
Yes,
course.
Yeah,
But
so
if you see here, yeah, the current 15-minute candle is break the previous candle high.
high.
If
Yeah,
yes, if is the current candle break the previous candle high, so it's giving some kind of confirmation for price go up. But if we want to take a trade with more strong confirmation, we're gonna stay for close, you know?
yeah, definitely, for sure.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
let's wait for the candle to close in our directions at this point. Oh, it's move up. I think it's a good idea if we
Yeah.
got an impulse
But
entry from the
it's no
15-minute.
worry. Yeah. No worries.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
it's a volume
Definitely,
time. Yeah. That's
definitely
fine.
not. Because we can get a lot of trades, quality
rejection.
trades, rejection, no problem. So I think 15-minute candle is about to close within a 3 minutes. Only 2 minutes. Okay, let's see how it close. Rejecting from that point, rejecting. Okay, no problem. So I think 15-minute candle close. And the way this 15-minute candle close, like body is smaller than the wick. Okay, 15-minute candle close. Now looking from the 30-minute, it's still in the impulse entry, but
Okay. Can I
I
say?
think, yeah,
So yeah, 15 minutes. So now That's 15 minutes is very good confirmation. Okay. So if this candle make a wick, yeah, then after this, when it go down, yeah, and then come back to its open price, it high probability for price continues going up. First of all,
Yeah,
we need to make a
definitely.
wick first,
Definitely,
then we're
definitely.
gonna enter.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
definitely. Agree with that.
let's go.
So let's gotta wait for candle to create the wicket first, the low, and then need to break its one high so that we can execute our buy.
Execute from flip.
So where should we put our stop loss?
Uh,
Below the previous
Not now.
candle?
We need like play a bit more bigger wick, and we can
Yeah,
put our
bigger wick.
stop
Yeah,
loss
definitely,
below current candle.
definitely. Exactly, exactly. I'm waiting for that. Need to have a good week, decent week. It's the first 5 minutes of the 15 minutes candle. Now it's moving down, no problem. Still moving down. Okay, I think it's a decent week
No,
from here.
that's a good now.
Yeah, so can you make a buy?
Half risk,
Yeah, yeah,
we can do now.
definitely. So we need to manage our risk. So let's go with maybe 0.5% risk.
Yeah.
Risk, sorry, let me put the lot size, all right? Lot size
Oh, lot
0.5,
size.
all right? Yeah.
Lot size could be very big now. If we put 0.5, it's big.
I think let's
Can,
go with 0.3.
yeah, okay. Can you check how many dollars we can lose if with 0.3 and 0.5?
Yeah, in 0.3, if we got if we got it, our stop loss will lose like 22 pips, means
No.
$66.
No, the stop loss, now can you put the stop loss below here? How long? Because it's
Where?
15 minutes, that's why.
Oh, I think
Yeah,
okay, it's a way big stop loss. So let's put the
yeah.
stop
We,
loss. Yeah. So
but
we'll
if we want
manage
to,
our, yeah, yeah, definitely. We'll manage our risk after this candle break its one
yeah,
low. We'll manage our risk
yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
Okay. TP
Because
will be
if we
somewhere
put,
else, not no problem. So let's go with the
yeah,
0.3.
let me say, because
Sorry.
if we put our stop loss here, yeah, this is 15 minutes candle and it's very risky.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
why
yeah.
it's
And
better.
still it is not breaking the high of the previous candle.
Yes, exactly.
I think at this point we need to manage. Let me see on the 30-minute perspective, all right? It's
Mm.
rejecting now. It's rejecting. So it's not a good
We
idea.
can stay in trade. We can stay in trade because it's very risky, because it's very like a low risk.
Yeah, 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 definitely. So
Just
let's wait for a
believe on
30-minute candle
volume.
to flip our directions. Oh, it's
Okay.
rejecting 2 months. Okay, anyway, no problem. Because we are in a low lot size.
What time?
And I think let me see the, okay, no news.
Oh,
I think we are in the
I still believe,
pre-London
I still it's
sessions.
high probability. It's high
Yeah.
probability for price go up, but if
So
it's close,
let's
come
see, no
down, it will
problem.
go.
Okay.
Yeah, it's close above. It's close above. That's a good sign. Just stay in the trade.
Yeah, definitely. It's a May 5, all right? Okay.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah, you see,
definitely.
yeah, it comes back.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We moved up like how many pips? Okay, no problem. So we need to wait for this candle to close.
Okay. And yeah, can you stop here?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Can you uh, make
So
this thing a little bit more? Can you make this a little bit more down? Bring it down. We cannot see the thing. how much profit we make.
Yeah, we made around 29 profit. So if I measure this range, which is like 9 pips, still we need to wait for this candle to close.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's wait. But if it retraces back to our zone, we need to manage some
Yeah.
risk if it's break the high of the previous candle.
No, it will go up and
Yeah,
go.
there will, yeah, definitely wait.
Yeah, or
Okay.
secure some
Yeah,
risk,
yeah,
if
yeah,
it's
definitely. Let's manage how much percentage? 50%. Yeah, that's good.
how yeah 80, make it 80.
Yeah, it
Or
might,
yeah,
yeah,
50, yeah, 50, yeah, 50 is fine because
50.
still have long range,
Yeah,
80
and
is
let's
good.
put our stop loss at break even now. This trade
Yes.
becomes the risk-free trade. Yeah. So if it's break the high of the previous candle, there is no business to come back to its entry price. All right. Yeah.
It will be more better. It will be more better if we close 80% and then put our stop loss at break even.
Break even. Yeah, definitely. We put our stop loss at break even at this point,
Yeah, but
and
if we close 80%, if
yeah,
50%, then the stop loss should be below the current candle low.
yeah, yeah.
But now it's
So I
50,
think this candle close like this means we need to wait for certain market structures. All right. Um, so this is not a tradable range at this point. Candle printing just like
Oh, it's very come. Oh my God.
okay. So let me uncheck the news. All right, because we only trade on a London means there is no impact news on London. Okay, so this is just seems like a garbage at this point. We need to wait for a decent market structure so that we can go for buy or sell. At this point, nothing can we do. So let me forward the next candle. Okay.
Oh, whoa, this a good sign, something like that.
Yeah, so if
Brother,
this candle
maybe we will
created the
the trade.
wicket first and then break the high of the previous
Mm.
candle, we'll go definitely for buy. So
But
let's see something from the left side, all right? So what we see is there is a resistance at this point, obviously, but looking at this point, the overall trend was up, the session trend was up, and it's the time of London Open, means there should be a high volume at this point. And so we are thinking that these the upcoming candle or the candles, if break the high of the previous candle, they will continue to fill this till this week. All right, even we can get this easily like 51 pips, but we also get like this 113 pips to fill the week because it's a weak clean range to the left. So still need to get a
okay,
confirmations. Yeah.
just one
So
thing.
let me, yeah, definitely. So let me show you the time frame. All right. Looking at on a
Yeah,
4 hour time
now.
frame, 4 hour time frame seems like breaking the high of the previous candle, and now it's trying to break the high of the previous candle. If it's break the high of the previous candle, then we have a clean range to the upper side, which is all about like a 344 pips.
Oh,
From the, yeah, definitely. From the 1 hour perspective, the 1 hour candle close or it's running. Yeah, it's running. And there is a clean traffic to the left from the 1 hour perspective as well. Looking at on a 30 minutes seems like the candle broke and close above this resistance means this is a valid break and close above resistance. So it's a valid breakout. So we are waited for candle to create some sorts of a wick to the low at first, then need to break the high of the previous candle. If we broke the high of the previous candle, then there is a clean range. So from the 15
okay.
minute, yeah, from the 15 minute also, it's not bad. It's good. So let's wait for a candle to create a wick and then need to break the high so that we are planned to go for a buy. All right. So can you do
Uh,
that?
can you remove this thing? Can you remove this thing?
This one? Yeah.
Yeah.
This
And
is a
okay.
clean.
And if you go to 4 hour, please.
Yeah. 4 hour.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so yeah, you see, 4 hour it just continuously going very up, okay?
Yeah, one, two,
And
yeah,
here and here price, okay, don't worry. Price came here, okay, at this resistant areas, okay? And now if you go to 1 hour,
definitely.
okay, now 1 hour, yeah, uh, 1 hour is also here at this area. So now this area is like a strong rejection, okay? Just make this, just put this in mind, okay? This is very strong rejection area, okay? Rejection, okay? But if you see here, yeah, price went price went up and come down and then close here, okay? So we have to be very careful here in this area to take a trade, okay? Because in this place, price can go up and price can come down. So just bear in mind, this is very strong resistant area as well, okay?
Yeah, definitely. So we should have to
So we're
consider
gonna
that,
wait, yeah.
yeah. But
So
but
we're gonna
looking
only take a trade when it's like a strong confirmation, okay?
definitely, definitely. So when we see the overall structures to the pre-London sessions, what you can see is there is a volume, there is a lack of volume to move the price up. But finally, I think let me count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's the 10th candle which trying to pushing up, and this is a solid bullish candle, means this candle contains a lot of volume to the upper side because it's a healthy body candle. So if you look at here, and if we see this type of like a strong bullish candle having a lot of liquidity, we can expect that the next move will continue to pushing up because it's the continuations in the volume continuation in the London Open. So we can expect the volume on London Open, since we will not able to get the volume on like Asian and the pre-London.
Pre-London.
Yeah, definitely. So let's wait for this candle to create the wick at first, and need to grab the liquidity and need to break the high of the previous candle so that we can expect a decent amount of moves in the upper side. So let's wait, all right? So let's wait. It's the first 1 minute. It's the first 1 minute, all right? It's moving down, no problem. Need to grab the liquidity. It's the first 1 minute. Still need to wait. Yeah, definitely need to wait. At least it has to grab the liquidity by taking like a 5 minutes, because it's a good time to grab the liquidity. So it's a better idea to wait for a candle to grab liquidity at first and then need to break the high of the previous candle. If it just break within a first minute, like a 30-20 seconds, that doesn't make any sense. Higher the time it consumes to grab the liquidity, we can expect a high move, all right? High range of move. So it's the first 5 minutes trying to break the high of the previous candle, no problem. Yeah, it's trying to break the high of the previous candle, but still it is not able to break. It is not breaking the high of the previous
Yeah,
candle.
I still, yeah, okay. You know, now it's break, yeah, but if you want to enter, yeah, you can enter because as you said, if price break the previous high, yeah, you're gonna enter, yes.
Yes.
So if you want, you can enter, yeah. But for me, it's like it's not, we're still not very strong confirmation because here this thing, But we gonna enter, we're gonna just testing, is because it's
Yeah, yeah, it's
simulation,
it's a simulation.
It's
So
better if
let's,
we
yeah,
enter,
yeah,
but I still not
definitely. So
confirm, yeah. So yeah,
so let's go with the buy. Put our stop
still
loss
not
below
like
below
very
this below
strong
this below
confirmation,
this
yeah. That's
range,
why.
yeah. And let's put our TP. Okay.
No, yeah, bring it down here. The weak field.
Yeah, definitely. So Yeah.
More down. Yeah, it's fine now.
Okay. So TP might be somewhere else. Okay. So let's consider the spread would not hit. Let's see what will happen. All right. So it's trying to breaking the high of the previous candle. We got an entry.
You can increase the speed, you know.
Yeah. So let me show my trade panel as well so that we can handle our profit or losses accordingly. So let's see.
Yeah.
Oh, I think it's
And
moving
can you
too
change this
fast.
into
Okay.
pips, you know?
Sorry.
Can you change profit into pips?
I
If
think
if
I
this
should have
one.
to execute for that. I need to execute on the base of risk. I think I executed on lot, so it shows like profit and loss into the amount. From the next time, definitely I'll
Yeah.
go for the risk so
No, no,
that
no,
we
no,
can
no.
see the
Look,
tips.
this one. If you click on this, yeah,
Yeah, okay, bro. Sorry. Okay.
we're
Now
gonna
let
show
me
you
see.
how many pips we gain.
Oh,
So we
300
gain,
means it's a 34, 38 pips, all right?
yeah. This is what I mean. So that 8 pips is good enough, you know. We should secure.
Yeah. So
I normally secure. Oh, look at that, 40. Yeah, I think it's better if you secure.
yeah, let's
Right.
secure 80%, all right?
Yeah,
Let's
80.
secure
Yeah,
80%. Need to secure 80% and put our stop loss at break even. Whenever you secure your profit, you definitely need to move your stop loss. So otherwise, it does not make any sense to close your partial position. So is it okay?
yeah.
So let's see the risk-free trade right up over here. Now it's moving up, no problem. 57, 59, 60. All right. Because since it's a risk-free trade, let's gotta wait. Okay, it's moving up, no problem. No need to be worried at this point.
Just one thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Can you
Okay.
bring, okay, this area, yeah, can you drag down, you know, the yellow thing. Can you drag it down? So there, no, not the chart. This thing, this whole thing.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
at the bottom. Yeah, can you drag it down? Yeah, more down, so
Yeah,
we
right.
can see percentage. No, not too much. Just to see the percentage.
Yeah. This one,
Yeah, just
Three,
to
three.
see this.
3% is, yeah, it's a 3%.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. We closed with no wick.
Yeah, no week. So let me close another 50% at this point. All right. Is it a good
Yeah.
idea? Yeah, let's go with
Close
the
it all, I think
50%.
so. Close it all.
No, let's let's wait for something, all right? So whenever you
Okay,
got a
no
volume
worries.
like this and it's May, we may
Oh,
be,
look, no. You see, wick fill.
yeah, this is a, yeah,
Okay.
definitely. That's why we close before hitting the weak fill, all right? 50% close already. We are in up like 85%. Let's modify the positions. Let's see for the first 1 or 2 minutes actually what if this able to create the weak or not. Or let's close another how much? 50%.
It's gonna
And
come down a bit.
yeah.
Gonna
Let's
come
let's
down.
let's let's try for the something, all right? Let me modify it. If we go somewhere or else, let's expect something. Nothing. Okay, so let's see.
Oh,
Oh, I think we might, yeah,
oh.
definitely.
That's good thing.
It
That's
is
good
what it
thing.
is.
That's good.
But you know what? Why I was so much confident in this trade, but because This is my favorite setups to execute the trade. Whenever you got like a decent candle closing above the resistance in a high volume sessions like a London Open or pre-London, there is a higher probability that it will continue to pushing up because it's an uptrend. Look from this perspective, it created a high, higher low, and higher high, higher low. And if it's able to break and close above this resistance, there is a more probability that it will continue to pushing up to create a new high in comparisons to the previous high because it's a uptrend from the overall trend session as well and from looking at the session trend as well.
You guys continue simulation. I will be back in 2 minutes, okay?
Yes, sure, definitely.
You
No problem.
continue.
Yeah. So I think let me show you my statistics at this point. We're in up like how much profit? 311, all right?
Yes.
No problem. Yeah. So if we got like $1,000 in 1 week or 2 week simulations, then definitely it will build our confidence to passing the funded account. All right. So it is what
Yeah.
it is. Yeah. Let's see. No problem. It's continue to moving up. So if we see this type of move to the upper side, in order to go for a buy, we need to have some sorts of a retracement or let's say need to wait for some pullback to create a support so that we can go for a buy further. Otherwise, we need to be patiently wait and need to keep our profit in positive. No need to be worry and need to execute the trade at this point. Whatever it is, it is. Yeah, we are not planning to go for a sell at this point, only looking for the retracement to be happen so that we can go for a buy. So let me see the sessions. We are in the New York session, so we are not too much used to trade the New York session. So let's move towards the next day, all right? I think let me skip
Session
the
much volatile.
yeah, it's too much volatile, and there is no history to make money of
Yeah.
mine to in a New York sessions because there is a lot of news and putting a stop loss. It's just like nothing. But I see some quality trades at London close after the NYC Open and after completions of all the news, you will get a London close. At that time, you will get a decent market structures where you can execute. All right, like in a London Open. So London close,
Yeah.
I think it's a crucial time. But trading in a New York, that doesn't make any sense for me because there is a lot of news and a lot of volatility. At first, I
Yes.
blew my first account at New York, and from that day, I promised myself I will not execute the trade at New York because yeah, definitely, bro. It's a something that gives me a lot of pain at that time.
Yeah.
So I blew my account at a news, even nothing. So I don't want to remember all those bad moments. So I was in like at initial phases like 2 years back. I used to trade on a news, and that news was obviously NFP news, and it just broke me at that time. So I think Raza is still struggling to trade on a New York. So all the money he
Yeah.
has made at London,
London
obviously.
session. Yeah.
London sessions, yeah. He's still struggling, and we are just the followers of him and expecting to make money at New York. It's difficult for us. That's why I haven't planned
There
to
is
move
just
US.
problem. Market that time is much volatile.
Exactly. That's why I I have give up my plan to move USA. Instead of moving USA, I prefer to move Europe. So I plan to move Luxembourg because I love to trade on a London session. Okay, so this is the pre-London sessions, and we are moving towards the May 6th. So let's see something, all right, very clear. And let me remove all these things, delete all selected. All right, okay, no problem. So from the daily perspective, what you can see is, let's just top-down analysis at this point. Looking at a daily perspective, it has created the wick, break the high of the previous candle, continue to pushing
Okay, I'm
up,
here.
and we have a clean range to the upper side. So from the daily perspective, our bias is up, all right,
High.
bullish. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So let's move towards the 4-hour time frame. 4-hour seems like breaking the previous zone, all right? So it's breaking the previous zone, break and close above this zone, and maintain the wick to the low. So we are expecting this candle to fill the previous week as well, which is all about like 247 pips, is a decent zone. From the 1-hour perspective, it seems like something very good, all right? So from the 1-hour perspective, we need to draw the most recent support and the resistance. So this is the most recent support at this point, and this is the most recent resistance at this point. If we broke and close below this support, then we can expect to price drop down this point, which is 250 pips. And if I measure the upper side from this range, it's a 164. It's a decent range to trade. It's a tradable range. So from the 30-minute perspective, it seems like something very good at this point. So this current candle is a 30-minute candle, and the previous candle has a high amount of volume. So if we expect the next candle to contain same like this volume, then we'll definitely to go up to fill the wick and resistance. So for that, we
That's a
need to
good
wait for
that's
a
a good
candle to
part. Yeah.
create the wick. Yeah. So from the 15-minute perspective, it seems like furthermore better, all right? So from the
Consolidating.
15-minute perspective, there is a resistance at this point, and it's trying to break, but need to wait for candle to break the previous high so that we can go for a buy. Otherwise, we need to wait uh, because there is a probability that it will probably be like this type of range as well. Need to consider that fact as well. So let's wait.
Yeah.
Definitely, because when you see the candle printing side by side, there is higher probability that the whole range will elongate it in future as well. So let's wait. Or we see better if this candle break and close below this support, because this is a clean range to the low. All right. So this could be a preferable for us, either or this one. Let's wait, because we are not planning to go for an impulse entry at this point because it's a way disaster. If I measure this range, it's like 90 pips. Can you go for a impulse entry at this point in a real market
No,
scenario?
man.
I think it's going to be
No.
more difficult for everyone. So need to wait for a candle to break and close below this support, because we have a clean range to the left, to the down. So why should we worry to execute our trade at this point without any confirmation? Yeah, it's nothing. It does not make any sense. Need to wait for a candle to break and close below the support so that we can go for a sell. Yeah, definitely. So let me pause it right now. It's pre-London
We're still in
sessions need
range.
to expect high volume. If this candle break the low of the previous candle, can you go for a sell?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Uh,
Yeah, definitely. We need to
Exactly.
give a chance.
yeah.
From the 1 hour, it's running. So whenever I see the 1 hour, and if I measure this range, it's already moved like 96 pips, and expecting further moving down from the 1 hour. I think it's a little bit risky at this point as well, but looking at an 4 hour, it is what it is. 30-minute 30-minute candle need to break the low of the previous candle so that we can give a chance to go down. All right, let me make it a little bit slower. But there is possibility that the candle, the way this candle printing side by side, there is high probability that this will go for a range as well. So need to consider that fact, because 90% of the trader used to lose the money at sideways in this type of range market.
Yes.
Definitely. It gives a lot of pain, brother. When you buy it, it your stop loss. When you sell it, is stop loss and compounding the losses. Yeah. At initial phases, I used to be the victim of the sideways market.
Can you stop now? Oh, it's gone. Oh, you know what?
I
I
think it's
was
better.
entering. I was Yeah. I was entering when the current candle come back to the open. So then we're gonna enter sell. But now we are here. Oh, we still there.
Yeah,
We're
brother,
gonna enter
actually,
now. We can enter
you know
now.
what? You know what? Actually, you know what? At this point, on your views, I'm planning to, sorry, I'm going to give some my opinion as well. So if you look at here, this week is 15, 19 pips, all right? Like
Yeah.
you, I also used to think that whenever prices created the wick, and I'm expecting that the candle continue to pushing down. At this point, I think it's made already a decent wick as well to the upper side, 43 pips. That's good. But if I measure this range, this is a how many pips? Like a 314 pips. It's a $31 move. And we are being greed to the 16 pips. So rather to execute the trade before breaking the low of the previous candle, it's a good idea to wait for a candle to break the previous candle because we have a clean range to the left. If it's moved down, there is high probability that we can see this type of candle. All right.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, that's a good
Yeah,
idea.
it's a good idea. And I'm a victim of these issues in many times because candle just created a wick and came back to its open price. I executed my trade and it would not break the low of the previous candle and hit my stop loss. That's a most panic situation because if we measure this range, it's not a big wick. It's a decent wick looking from this body of the candle. All right. So let's gotta wait. Let's wait. Need to wait for a candle to break the low so that we can go for a sale. And it's a second attempt to price pushing down. So let's wait. It need to break its one low, not this week at this point. Yeah.
I
So
believe we are
let's
good.
yeah, let's give the chance to go down. All right. Let's put how much lot? Okay. 0.3. I think it's a
Oh, it's
10,000,
fine, I think.
10K, 10K fund, 0.5, it's good, all right?
Yeah.
So let's go for a sale and put my stop loss, not obviously above
Yeah.
this range, because if it's break the low of the previous candle, there is no business to come back in the zone.
Okay, go on 15 minutes then.
Yeah, let's see on the
So,
15 minute. I think 15 minute also, there is a week,
uh,
so
so I think better if you put above.
yeah, and so I think
Yeah,
we took
we
a
have no place.
but if I measure this range, which is all about like 42, and we are losing
Yeah,
obviously
well, we have a profit run more
$200,
than 100, you see?
$200, 200.
We have a
So
long range at the left side.
yeah, so let's go for a sale. But if it's retraces back to its one zone, we need to manage our risk. Need to close 50%.
Yeah.
Definitely, because risk management is the key for us. What's
Oh,
happened?
what's happened?
No, no,
No
no,
wonder.
bro. I think I did something wrong at this point. Let me fix it. Need to
Oh, you didn't
Sorry.
take the stop
Yeah, need to
profit all
sell.
the way down.
Yeah, stop loss would be above the previous candle. TP will be somewhere else, no
No, not
problem.
there, not there. It's too big. Here,
Yeah.
going to
Okay.
here, yeah.
Yeah. I think now it's better.
Yeah.
Why it's not running at this point, brother? I
Now
need
it's
to
running. The
oh
time is very
yeah, it's
slow.
running. Okay. So if it retraces back to its zone, we need to manage our risk. There is no doubt at all. Need to push down, need to wait for a candle to print our directions. All right. Need to wait. I think if it retraces back to its zone, we can see some sorts of a ranging market further. Yeah, there is no business to come back in the range. If it's come back, need to manage our risk because
Yeah,
we're a
but
risk
it
manager. Yeah,
closed some.
yeah. It's a 15-minute candle is about to close. It's about to close within the 5 minutes. Need to wait still. Okay, let me show my trade panel at this point. Yeah,
We don't see
market.
any volume in this candle. You see, it just stuck
Yeah, no
in
volume.
place.
Yeah, I also see that.
So if no volume, then better if you close some percentage or you want to stay.
Yeah, let me see on the 15-minute candle because it's in
Okay,
the if it's this candle close below this support means we can expect next candle to continue to push down, all right?
okay. Can you stop, please? I want to show you.
Yeah, it's about to close within the 2 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, no problem. This candle is about to close within the 1 minute right now, so need to wait and
Brother,
see.
that is 82 pips or 8 pips?
Okay, let me show you. It's a 14 pips, brother. It's a 14 pips.
14 pips. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a 14 pips right at this point. So I have practicing something new at this point because that works for me as well. So I'm going to share that. If the prices move to my directions more than 20 pips, and if it retraces back to my entry price, I will close my portion like 50% or 80% of my positions at that point. Because if price ran into my directions, there is no business to come back to my entry price. So that's the first rule. And the second rule that I make was I noted down in my diary was when price moved towards the less than 15 pips, all right, less than 15, 16, 17 pips, or and retraces back to my zone, I will close like 50% of my portions. And at in open price, sorry, at in open price means when price move to my directions like 14, 15 pips and retraces back into my open price, I will close 50% of my positions. Open the candle. All right, open the price of the
Yeah,
candle.
but
Yeah,
we are on 30 minutes, because
yeah,
30 minutes we still
definitely.
have 15 minutes, but if you're talking about like according to 15-minute candle, then it's risky. Then it's weak confirmation.
Yeah,
That's why.
I'm talking about on the basis of 15, sorry, 30-minute candle.
Yeah, 30 minutes.
Yeah, 30 minutes because risk management is the key. Many of the
Yeah.
time, price ran into my direction like 20 pips and it hit my stop loss as well because I could not handle my losses at that point. So it's the, I think we have closed below on a 15-minute perspective. So need to wait for something. How many pips we got? Like 24, 26? And we're expecting
Yeah.
this much. It's a good
I
idea to
think,
manage some risk or let's
yeah,
we got like
continue.
30 pips. At in a real scenario, what could be our decision?
Yeah, most of them I close at 15 pips, 15 pips. I secure my trade in 15 pips, like 80% I secure in 15 pips or 20 pips. Now it's 30 pips, So for me, I better to secure, but it's up to you.
So yeah, definitely. For me as well, even though I have a good
Okay,
range,
now, okay.
even though I have a
So,
good range,
yeah,
in my real case scenario, I also close 80% above 25, 30 pips, all right? Because you know what? There is nothing 100%, there is nothing guaranteed, and there is nothing, there is nothing, or there is not a evidence that it will eat our TP as well, because there is a possibility that it will retraces back to the zones as well because it's a market can do anything. So I think it's better idea to close 80% at this point, all right? So let's not be
okay,
greedy too much because profit whatever the market gives us, we need to secure that, need to be satisfied. All right.
Yeah.
Let's put our stop loss at break even. If our runner run continue to pushes and hit our TP, it will be good and it will build our confidence from the next time as well. Otherwise, if it is our stop loss, we don't have anything to lose at this point, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see. Most of the trader, what they usually do is they secure the profit and they could not just manage the risk like changing their stop loss at break even, and it retraces back to their stop loss, and profit and loss will be the equal. That's the worst case
Yeah.
scenario for most of the trader.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to trail our stop loss to the break even whenever we
Now
secure something.
he's look at price move up,
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
it's better if you
So
secure,
what a
that's the
closing.
good
So
thing.
what a close that we made at this point. This
Yeah.
is incredible,
Yeah.
all right? Miracle. Like, I think 90% of the time I also close 80% above 20, 25, 30 pips. Sometimes I also got like a
Yeah.
40 pips, but the trend ran to my directions like 180 pips. Even that
Yeah.
scenario,
Even,
I'll be satisfied.
even if my stop loss is 25 pips, yeah, and my profit is 15 pips, I close percentage with 15 pips, if even if my stop loss is bigger.
Yeah,
I like
definitely,
15 pips,
definitely.
it's good enough for me.
Yeah, yeah. The risk to reward ratio, just like myth. Most of the people used to say that I should have to get like, well, at least 1:2. Nothing. If you got profit, that's enough for you. You are a positive. You are
Mm.
in a profit. You are in the top 5% traders in the world. Then
Okay.
why should you go
Yeah.
for worry like 1:2? That doesn't make any sense. Whatever the
Yeah.
market gives you, just take it and have a good day at that point. Okay, it pushes up, no problem. The way this candle closed side by side, it's a ranging market at this point. Need to forward is keep this candle. I don't go for a buy at this point because it's not a confirmation. Need to wait. Still
Okay.
need to wait. Nothing,
Our
nothing.
simulation
Whenever
speed
I see this
is
type of candle, there is a 0% confidence on me to execute the trade. Whenever I see this type of candle.
okay. Just one thing, yeah.
Yeah.
It's been an hour in this simulation start, and we just only done one day. Our speed is very slow.
Yeah. So let's skip to the next day, all right, at this point. I think next day.
Uh, we should do like pre-New York, sorry, pre-London or just London, so we can get
Pre-London in
more good
London. Yeah,
scenarios.
How
yeah,
much
yeah,
we are
yeah.
gaining?
Sorry, bro.
How much we are gaining?
Okay, so let me show you our statistics. We got like how 432 means on a
And
10,000, 10% means 1,000. We are in a like 4.32% at this point.
yeah,
You know what? At this time, we got like profit on his trade. In actual scenario, could be quite much hard to get win on every trade. Okay, no problem. So let's go to the next day. Let me remove all these things. All right. Okay. So from the daily perspective, what we can see is from the daily perspective, candle created the week moving up means nothing to be taken into the consideration from the daily perspective. From the 4 hour perspective, we can see that this candle is not even close at this point. From the 1 hour perspective, we can see some structures. It has created the support at this point. Likewise, created the resistance at this point. The most resistance would be somewhere else. And from the 30-minute perspective, we can see that this is the adjusted support, and I don't think candle
Okay.
breaking above this range would be a good enough to the tradable range. I don't think so. But if I measure this week, it's already like
Roshan,
105 pips. So I think,
Roshan,
let's see. Yeah, brother.
you know, it is a best is a very good simulation, and I think we should do every day. You know, like for 1 hour. How often do you do this simulation? Just asking. Like how
Sorry,
many
so
time in a week?
yeah, brother, you know what? At the beginning, I used to, when I purchased this license from the MT5 simulator, I used to do trade on a daily basis. So later on, I feel that when you got over simulated, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, okay,
When you do the
okay.
simulations and reach to your charts, doing trade means you have already did a trade, and there is a higher chances that you are going to losing your trades on a as well. So it's a better idea to go for 1 or 2 days in a week. I think Saturday and Sunday would be a great day to go for a simulations. So it's not a good
Why
idea.
not like every day?
1 hour every day.
Every day like 1 hour.
So instead of doing simulations 1 hour every day, what you can do is just open your charts and see your time frame. Like if you used to trade most of the trade on a New York, then was the New York charts like this one. Okay. Okay, by hiding the next candle and anticipate what will be happen to the next. I used to do this a lot of time when I got a free, and it's a good idea to go for the recent week or months to see the charts like this. But when you did the simulations like this, you are actually executing your trade like in the real time scenario, and it will impact these will impact on your real trade as well. So when you become the over simulated, it will create some problem. So Raja also told me that this same scenario, because he suggested us that you need to go for the simulations 1 or 2 a week. That will be enough for you to maintain your age. All right. But looking your chart on a daily basis, like hiding the next candle. So if you look at here, just draw this like this. This one is create a resistance. This candle is not break and close above this resistance. So what could be the next candle? It will move up or down. So if the next candle break the high of the previous candle, it will move up because it's a impulse entry in the trend, because the session trend is up. So let's see the next candle. It moved up like this. So you can do this like this. The
Yeah.
recent chart, all right? So but don't try to do simulation on each day,
Oh,
because you are
that's a good
waiting.
thing, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it's a
that's
good
a good
thing.
thing not to trade every day, okay?
Yeah.
Well, by the way, thank you so much, you know. Just let me know when you have next simulation. I will excited to join, you know.
Exactly, brother. We can do the simulations on Saturday and Sunday, all right? So
Saturday and Sunday,
yeah,
yes. So
that would be
yeah.
great.
So
Yeah.
so please let me know next time, yeah. So this is
Yeah,
for
bro.
today. Thank you so much, you know.
Yeah, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely, brother.
Okay.
I also plan
And
to
you
create
gonna
the
you recording this simulation, yeah?
yeah, I'm recording this and I also upload this simulation on YouTube.
You oh, that's the best thing, you know.
Yeah, my
So yeah,
YouTube channel is, my YouTube channel.
what's your YouTube channel?
Yeah, my name Goldman Roshan. Yeah,
Oh, I
I
thought
had just tried. Yeah. Okay,
um,
okay. So let's do one more trade, all right? Because we are up in the 4.3 percentage. We are planning to make it 10%. So let me skip this because it's a
okay,
no
see
tradable
ya.
zone. Let me skip the
Bye
next
bye.
candle as well. Sorry, bro.
Okay, bye bye. See you next time, Roshan.
Okay, okay. See you. Have a good day.
You too.
So let's wait this candle to break and close above this resistance so that we can go for a buy. All right. So let's see what will happen at this point. Need to wait for a candle to break and close above the resistance so that we can go for a buy. Looking from the 15-minute perspective, yeah, it is something not good to execute. Okay. Back in the range means nothing to do at this point. Need to wait. Yeah. So the next candle created the wick and break the high of the previous candle. We need to give a trade for the buy, because if you look at here, what you can see is, brother, what you can see is this candle break and close above this resistance. So there is a higher probability, and it's a London open sessions. If you look at here, the time sessions, higher probability that the next candle will continue to pushing up and measuring the
Brother,
range. It's 82 pips. Yeah.
yeah, but brother, market already moved maybe 19 pips or 100 pips plus. That time, yeah,
It's a
like
133. Yeah, definitely.
so that time we execute by it's a good plan or waiting for um, bearish candle.
Look, whenever you see a, listen, whenever you see a certain type of market structures where where the price moved like this, all right? So sorry, let me show you this, all right? So let me clear you very well. So if you measure this range, this candle was already moved like 548 pips. So what's the
Yeah,
probability that the next candle will continue to push down? It's going to be very, very low. But this is
yeah,
the case of single candle. So if we
uh,
look at here, this market structure and this is completely different. The overall session trend was up, because if you look at here, AGN high created a higher low and it's trying to break the candle broke and close above this resistance. So there is high probability it will continue to push up. All right, the first case. The second case scenario would be whenever you see that there is a confirmation candle, it's a decent bullish candle having a high amount of liquidity. So if you look at here, this is the liquidity candle. Whenever you see the bigger wick to the lower than the body, means the buyer has rejected from the buyers has started to buy at this point, means it's a strong bullish candle and it's a London open sessions. You are expecting the high volume, and if I measure this range to your opinion, it's like 199 pips. All right, 199 pips has been done by how many candles? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's a decent volume, not a big move, because it's not done by the single candle. Got
yeah,
it? Got my
understand.
point? It's
Yeah,
done by
yeah,
7-8 candle. So it's a good idea to wait for the next candle to create a low, need to break the high of the previous candle, so that we can expect price to continue to pushing up. So most of you are
understand.
thinking that there is a weak rejections to the left. So shall we consider this week or not? The answer is obviously not considering much this week, because if we break and close above this resistance, the whole week becomes the weak fill. So you
Yeah,
don't need to be worried about the wick to the left. Yeah, so
understand,
need
brother.
to wait for candle to break the high of the previous candle at first. Then only we'll plan to execute. Otherwise, we'll not go for a buy. Yep. Let's see whether it's able to break the high of the previous candle or not. It's the first 2 minute candle trying to break the high of the previous. Let's listen. Waiting for candle to break the high is highly essential, because most of the trader, they would not wait, they would not prefer to wait, and they executed that point and they are losing like this fucking money, all right? At this point. So it's a good idea. Don't be greed like 2 pips, 4 pips, 10 pips, less than 10 pips. Don't be greed on less than 10 pips. It's a better idea to wait for candle to break the high of the previous candle. 90% of the trader used to execute trade before breaking the high of the previous candle in
Complete.
this scenario,
Yeah,
isn't it? And they just become a so much panic trader in the world because it's been like a 61 pips drop down from this point. By greeding to get more 4 pips, they are losing like how many pips? 65, 60, 69, 70 pips. That doesn't make any sense. It's 7 minutes. Even though, listen, brother, even though if it's break the high of the previous candle, I would prefer to go for buy, because you know what? If you look at this candle respect the low of the previous candle, because so most of the trader used to do the dynamic entry at this point. professional trader, because it respect the low of the previous candle. They just execute by maybe somewhere else, putting a stop loss below the previous candle. That's why this type of buyers pushes the prices up. Now it's our time to execute the buy, because we are not go for putting our stop loss below the current candle at this point, because it is something tricky. Let me share
I
you, all
think,
right?
brother, this scenario we are following 15 minutes. Move to 15 minutes
Okay, let me
or
okay.
set SL.
You know what? The 15-minute candle is not close, means this week is also the 15-minute week as well. Got it? It's a 59 pips. So let me tell you something very interesting at this point, which I often used to implement in my trade. All right. So let me break
Yeah.
its high at first. Need to break the high at okay. So let me tell you something. Whenever the candle respect the previous low, and I'm thinking to go for a buy, obviously taking 0.5, no problem. Taking for a buy, I
High
put my
probability
stop
to go
loss
up.
below the zone. I put my stop loss below the zone, because what I believe is, if the candle break the high of the previous candle, respecting the low of the previous candle, there is no business to come back in the zone. If this
Okay,
candle
yeah.
came back in the zone closing like a bearish, that doesn't make any sense. So in this scenario, you don't need to put your stop loss below the current candle. Rather, you put your stop loss
Yeah.
below the zone. All right. So if it hit our stop loss, nothing we can do. Still, we manage our
Yes.
risk. And if this candle come back in the zone, means there is no business to move pushing up, because you can't expect that much amount of volume. All right. So let's see. TP would be somewhere else. Okay, I think I didn't set my TP, no problem. Let's see. Sorry, bro. Again, I did a mistake.
Yeah.
I didn't put my TP, so I should have to put my stop loss below the zone. All right. TP would be somewhere else. All right. Now it's a good
Yes.
trade. Now, yeah. So let's see. Let me show my trade panel. Yeah. So in this scenario, there is no business to price comeback. If it's back in the range, we need to manage our risk. Always 90% of the time, focus on your risk, not profit. Because if you lose less, then obviously you make a huge win. There is no doubt. It's moving up. If you need to consider at this week a little bit whether it is able to break the high of the previous candle or not. It's a 21 pips range. We are moving up like 18 pips. Yeah, it's trying to break. Okay, it's breaking the high of the previous candle. Okay, still waited. Okay, no problem.
17. Okay.
Need to wait. Need to wait. Need to wait. Okay, still moving up. I think we are up in like 26, 25, 26 pips. Breaking the high means there is no business to come back in the zone. So, okay. So it's a 31 pips. So let's secure 80% of my positions. All right. It's a better idea
Yes.
to secure your profit. All right. I'm going to close 80% and need to put our stop loss at break even. And it's a risk-free trade now. Let me make it a little bit faster. Okay, no problem. If it our stop loss TP, no problem. Okay, that is something that we made. If we would not close our position and expecting to hit our TP, then we'll get zero at this point. Isn't it, brother? Isn't it?
Yeah.
Definitely. So when you got, like, if I measure this, when you got 40, 40, 31 pips, 40 pips, and you are expecting more 30 pips, bro, you should have to secure 40 pips at first. and then think about the 30 pips. Because when you trying to take the piece in the ground, there is probability that you are losing the pieces that already you have on your pocket, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So no need to be greedy much. I think this is the garbage right at this point now. Let me forward, let me forward. Okay, we are in the New York session. No business to take any trade in the New York. So let's move to the next day. And I think this could be the last trade for this simulation. So let's move to the next day, all right? Is it a good idea to
Yeah.
move next day? Obviously, okay. Let's move. Okay, move to the next day. I think it's an awesome simulations that we made today. Because all the trades gotta win for us. But even we are executed each trade on the basis of logics, isn't it? We are not executed
Yeah.
our
Yeah.
trade haphazardly at this point. So from the obviously from the daily perspective, it's retraces back to the zone, retracing, making way big this week. Okay, 4 hour trying to pushing down, no problem. From the 1 hour perspective, it's moving down, already moved like this. Look, in this case, literally, I'm saying that I have a zero confidence to execute on sales because it already moved
Move.
277 pips and there is a
Yeah.
support. I'm not preferred to go for a sale, so let's wait. Even though candle
I think,
printed in a
brother, I think
yeah,
we waiting for buy in this scenario.
for a buy, listen,
Yeah.
let me tell you something more interesting thing. If you look at here, the
Yeah.
overall session trend was down, all right? Can you accept that fact?
Yeah.
Yeah. So in order to go for a buy, what you can expect is the next candle would be the bullish and the next candle would be the bearish and the next candle would be the bullish closing above the previous resistance. So now
Yeah.
it becomes your counter trend and you are expecting like this move, all right? You're expecting this move to the upper side. It's called the counter trend because the session trend was down and you are expecting buy. Means you know what? Most of the trader, what they do is whenever they see the bullish candle like this and they are worried to execute the trade on the next trade. Sometimes it moves like this, but most of the time they got stopped out and created the support and the next candle will continue to pushing up. It's a
But
counter
yeah.
value trade. Yeah, Raja used to do this type of trade when the session trend is down and is planning to buy. You always prefer to go for the counter trend. So for counter trend, you want some sorts of a resistance, then support need to be formed. Now the overall chain of the down will break after creating the higher low at this point, higher high, higher low, then probability that the next candle will continue to pushing up, isn't it? It's a counter trend setup.
Yes.
For sale, we need to have some sorts of a resistance, and then you are expecting the next candle to continue to pushing up like this, isn't it? Down. So for sale, we need to have a resistance. At this point, we don't find any resistance. So let me forward skip this, whatever. Need to wait for the resistance to form. Okay, down, no problem, because you already missed this trade. Nothing to do at this point. Moving down, okay. But if this candle created the resistance at this point, you can think for sale. Okay, candle close bearish. Need to wake up at first. All right, need to wake up at first. Need to wake up, wake up, wake up, baby. Come on, wake up, wake up, wake up. Create a week. Not creating week. Need to create a wick at first. Now it's creating. So what's the probability that the next candle will continue to push down? I think if you think that it's going to be high, let's put the 0.2 lot. All right. Let's not take a high amount of risk because the trend has already moved like this. There is a higher probability that the next move will continue to pushing up as well in the counter setup. So for that reason, we are not taking enough risk. Let's go for the sale. Put our
So, brother,
TP.
you don't wait for previous break low.
No, brother. If you listen, whenever you find the wick bigger than the
Yeah,
body, all right. So what I'm going to tell you is, whenever you find the wick bigger than the body, wick is how much? Like 38 pips, and body is how much? Like 20 pips, and it created the resistance at this point. You are expecting that the price would continue to push down. Is it a good idea to execute the trade after moving already 38 pips or instantly at a open price and putting a stop loss previous candle? I think it's good.
okay.
Yeah, that's why I executed at this point.
Understand.
Yeah, but if you waited for candle to break below this support, it's a way late, too late.
Yeah. Also, SL is big that time.
Yeah, at that point, exactly. No problem. Okay, it's a first 5 minutes trying to pushing down. But look, brother, if it's break its one high, I'm going to manage my risk. Nothing to do at this point. If it's break its one high, this high, I'll close 50% of my positions. Look, you are thinking to execute the sell at this point. We are already been up like how many pips? Let me show you my
20 pips.
29 pips, brother. 20 pips. Yeah, definitely. It's a way big pips, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your idea is good.
Yeah. Need to wait. Need to wait. If it's breakers one high, I'm going to close 50% of my position because I don't want to lose more than what I expected to lose. Yeah, need to respect the previous high. Now, listen, at a real scenario, I move my stop loss above the previous candle. I will trail my stop loss. Ooh, I think this is the original stop loss, isn't it? No problem. So what's the probability that it will hit our stop loss? It's going to be very, very high. I think it's a good idea to close 50% at this point, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's see. Because it broke the high of the previous candle as well. Need to manage our risk. Need to manage our risk. Need to manage our, don't hit our stop loss, baby. Come on. You don't need to hit our stop loss at this point. Need to push down, push down, push down, completely push down. Yes. Okay. Now you need to push down. Okay. If it's break the low of the previous candle, you might give a second chance, but not a good idea because it already broke the high of the previous candle, not respecting.
Yes.
Yeah. Pushing down. No problem. Yeah. Next candle. Continue to push down. Okay, created a week, no problem. No need to worry. No need to worry. Need to break the low of the previous candle. Low, low. Yeah, definitely. That's great.
Brother,
And now we are making money. So I think,
brother, there is another chance for impulse entry
yeah. So let's give
because
one chance. Let's give one chance for your convenience. Where is
yeah,
stop loss might be somewhere else. All right. TP would be somewhere else. All right. No problem. We
because
manage
previous
manage
candle is
our
excess candle.
baby, calm down. Need to calm down, bro. Calm down. You don't need to move up like this much. Oh, I think it is our stop loss. No problem. Not it at eight. Not it at eight. Not it at not. No, 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 no. Finally, it hit our stop loss. Okay, if it's break at the low, we should give. I think it grabbed the liquidity right now. Now. So let's give
Yeah,
one more chance. All right.
another
Let's give one more chance
chance.
because it's a second attempt.
Yeah,
Put our stop loss might be somewhere else. TP would be here. Okay, somewhere else. Let that on.
but
Baby, calm
brother,
down.
that time is pre-New York.
No, no. Yeah. I think we have already moved like how many pips? Brother,
70,
52,
like
75
50.
pips. I think it's a good time to secure 80%, all right?
Yeah,
80% positions, 80%. I think we should manage 80% of the power positions. Why? Why my 0.5 lot is not executed? Only we have 2 trades. Okay, no problem. So let's put our stop loss at break even and see what will happen. Yeah, definitely next candle pushing down.
Brother, this is 55th pips, right?
This is a 67
Photo,
and this is the 44 pips. Yeah.
yeah.
If this candle created the week and need to break the low of the previous candle, the next candle will continue to pushing down. Oh, okay. The runner run will caught by this trade, all right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a good idea to secure. We saved our life.
Brother, when we see we moved 44 pips or 50 pips, I think that time we closed. It's good.
Yeah. So you need to just let a small portions, all right?
Okay, understand.
The next candle break the high of the previous candle. You can give a buy. You can even give a buy, all right? Okay. So at this scenario, is it a good idea to go for a buy? I don't think there is a
No,
resistance at
no,
this point. Yeah, this is not good.
but
I think this
brother,
is a
there
new
is
work. I think
another
this is the
option.
new work, all right? We need to move to the
Yeah,
next day. Do one trade, all right? For this week. Let's do the last one trade and wrap up the simulations for this week. Okay. Let's do analysis, all right? At this point, from the daily perspective, it's moving up by creating this much of liquidity, all right? From the 4 hour, it's good, no problem, moving up. From the 1 hour, 1 hour is still moving up and close like above the resistance. Does this candle break and close above this resistance or not? Let me see.
yeah,
Yeah, this is the break and close above this reason, and this trade seems like the previous trade as well, isn't it?
yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right.
Yeah, need to wait for a candle to create the wicket first. No, baby, you need to create the wicket first. You need to create the wicket first. Need to create the wicket first, baby. Come on. Need to create. Yeah, this cleared the wick and back in the zone. So there is no business to go for buy.
Fake out.
Next candle, nothing. Yeah, whole breakout becomes the fake out at that point. Need to wait for a good market structure. Now, this is the great time to give the trade a second chance, or this is the first trade for us. So we need to have a candle to create a wick and then need to break the high of the previous candle so that we can go for a buy, isn't it, at this point? It's
Yeah,
good,
yes,
valid,
yes.
because the overall session trend was up and you have created a support at this point and
And
have a,
also, bro, it's London open time.
yeah, high volume to be expected.
Yeah,
Yeah, here we go. Let's go for a buy. TP stop loss would be somewhere else. TP would be nothing. We'll manage accordingly. All right. Let's see. Where my trade funnel? Yeah. Okay. So let me make it a little bit faster. It's moving up. Wow. We are moving up like 5-6 pips. No problem. We are not going to secure at this point. But considering to manage our risk at this point, if it's break the high of the previous candle, let me make it a little bit slower because we need to manage our profit as well. Okay, need to break, baby. Come on, break the high of the previous
Yeah,
candle. We are in
take
28,
it.
24, 27. Okay, let's gotta wait because we are in the uptrend. Oh, okay. So let's see what will happen because we are already been up, no problem. If it retraces back to our zone, we'll manage our risk. We're expecting something big. Oh, nice.
Yeah,
So I think we should close 80%, all right?
yes.
Or 50%. Let's close, no, 80%. No need to be overconfident at this point. Bring our stop loss at break even, isn't it, brother? When you make profit,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
don't need to be
totally.
over smart and overconfident. Otherwise, you will be beaten by the market very badly. Whatever you got, you need to be satisfied with that. Let me make it a little bit faster. That's why it's a good idea to secure profit. If we
Bigger
are not
profit.
able to secure the profit at this period, will be the panic one. So let's see our statistics. We've been up like 6.3% in a week. I think it's a Friday. It's a Friday. And we have been up like 6.3%. It's a good idea, I think. It's a good profit as well.
Yeah, brother,
Yeah,
you are
that's
right.
a decent amount. Yeah, definitely. So it's a good. So anyway, so let's see our statistics. We have been executed how many trades? Let me count number of closed trades. 19 out of 19, 11 trades profit means it's a good graph. Seems like crazy. Crazy at this point graph. History, that's good. I think we have been followed the simple rule like to stay within 1 or 2 trades, focusing only on learning session. That's why we made this amount of money. If we traded simulations on Newark, AGN, then definitely will not make this amount of money because will not grasp the actual market trend. Brother, this much for today. So we'll see you on next week. Having saying that, I'm going to end this session. So you have any questions, brother? Shall I close? Definitely. So we'll see you on next day.